It's cold downstairs. A random shoe. One of the dogs must have kicked it. I'm gonna fire up the fireplace. And this is how we do it. This kind of vintage looking thermostat. You just go up and the fire comes on in the fireplace. Clyde, do you have to go outside? Let's go outside. He will always look back at me, like getting my approval. He's gonna do something. Watch this. Hi. Always has to watch. See if mommy's looking over him. Okay, go do your business. So you can see it's still dark outside. And that's the full moon. Good morning and happy day 4 of Vlogmas. I am up pretty early. It's about just after 5 a.m. Scott was up all throughout the night. He was on call and he was getting paged several times, so he had to get up and check some software or whatever database people do for healthcare industry. He finally just went back to bed about 30 minutes ago, and I was already up, so I figured I would get up and have a productive morning while he gets some quality sleep before his team meeting this morning. He has a daily team meeting, which, by the way, I hope he does not sleep in, so I'm gonna set an alarm. Hey Alexa, set an alarm for 7:45 a.m.
Alarm set for 7:45 a.m.
That way Scott doesn't sleep in and I forget to remind him or wake him up if he's still snoozing. So yeah, my productive morning, I'm planning to figure out what I'm gonna pack. We leave in about a day and a half, flying out to California. So I'm gonna figure out what to pack, maybe even pull a couple items for Scott, and make sure if we need to do any laundry. I do a load or two of the key items that we are going to pack for our trip. Also, I think I'm gonna go online here to Ulta and see if there are any hair appointment slots and touch up my roots and maybe get a fresh trim. I like the convenience of Ulta where I can just go online and see if there are appointments open today or tomorrow and get scheduled. Sasha, our daughter, has also learned that with her busy class schedule and her college activities, that she can just pop on to Ulta's website and, she likes to keep her hair layers fresh. She has a lot of hair, so to kind of thin out, and so she's probably getting a haircut every 4 to 6 weeks. So Ulta has been very easy to schedule for her as well. I think another thing I'm planning to do this morning is a couple of the girls on the team I had messaged, specifically the seniors this year. I let the upperclassmen have feedback on the team's uniform. So I did get a couple of responses back. So I'm going to go through those, kind of price them out, and then forward them on to our athletic director, who has to approve the uniforms, the costs, make sure it's all within budget. All the while, making sure all sizes are available. We do have a wide range of girls on the team. It's like picking a bridesmaid's dress. When we select uniforms, it has to ideally, have a lot of size ranges as well as fit different body types. And I think the last thing I'm gonna do in this productive session this morning is try to get a shopping list together and get items ordered, so that way they are on the way, being processed and shipped while we are on our trip, and I'm not having to stress about holiday gifts arriving. So yeah, that's gonna be my morning. We'll see what Scott has on his slate for today. Also, it's supposed to snow today, so I'm hoping if it does snow today that it kind of eases up by tomorrow. Our town, even though it's a small town, they do get the snow plows out fairly quick. So with us traveling, we did opt to connect out of our local regional airport instead of driving down to Charlotte. So hopefully we won't have any misconnects with the weather. Oftentimes we will just drive down to Charlotte, which is about 2.5 hours from where we're at. And we can essentially get nonstops, but we are actually connecting from our regional airport to Charlotte, and then Charlotte to California on a nonstop transcontinental flight. So yeah, that's on the agenda this morning, and then we will see what Scott gets into a little bit later. So this is my normal morning breakfast. I try to do high protein. So I will get a Greek yogurt, some chia seeds, protein, granola, and I will usually do a scoop of protein powder. I will also get some berries that I've frozen, so I buy them fresh, and then after they're about to expire, I will lay them out flat and freeze them. It's pretty filling too. It's about 35 grams of protein.
All right, so here we are in the backyard on December 4th. Still have a couple of weeks until it's winter, but it's been a cold winter already, so it's time to put the summer equipment away and get the winter equipment out. So let's see what that looks like. I've got the shed over here. It's all open and ready to go. Okay, the grass will not be growing anymore for a few months. So we're gonna put the mower in the shed and call it a season. And the one thing we're gonna do here is just gonna put a little of this stable. And this is not a winterizing treatment at all. It just helps the gasoline last a little longer. So so that in the spring, when you fire up the mower, it doesn't have unusable gasoline in it. Okay, here goes the mower into the shed for the winter. But first we got to take something out. Oh yeah, baby. Do any of you Californians know what this is? It's a snow blower. Yeah. We make good use of that here in the winter, cleaning our paths and driveway. And then when we're done with that, take the cover out. Let's not talk about this too much today. This is the base for a very, very tall tree, which we are not going to put up today, but it was in the way. We're going to put the mower away. All right, ready to go for some snow blowing. Actually found something else here in the shed, which may come in handy during the winter. Little sled for the street. That can be fun too. For the first snow or power outage. Okay, so Declan and I were able to get a little further away from home and go to the school where they have a track. Now this is a much smaller track. If you go to a high school or something, it's usually a quarter of a mile, 440 yards. This one is, I think, a little more than a tenth of a mile around. But here's the odd thing that I wanted to show you. So we don't let Declan out the front door. He might run in the street. Whenever we go on a walk, we keep him on a leash. But when I come to this school, he likes to just sit out at the end there and just kind of wait for me to do my laps around. So we'll pick this up when I've come around. Now, if there were someone else out here with a child or a dog, I would not do this because he would undoubtedly run to them. but he just sits still. Oh, now he's doing something. But it's so funny how you can do reverse training, reverse psychology. I have at first, when I first started doing this, I would call him, whistle him to come over, and nothing. Like the opposite of stay. Now, see, he sees me looking at him with the camera, so he's getting a little bit playful, which is not good. Because when he's playful, he runs around. But I'll just walk by him like I'm gonna go around another lap and try to ignore him the best I can here and see if I can get him to not run away from me. Hi, boy. Hi. Should I go around one more time? Should I go around? No. Okay, I'll pick up the leash, all right? All right, good boy.
Monaco, you want to go outside? Yes? And off he goes. Chasing the squirrels. Hey, buddy. What are you up to? What are you up to, mister? What are you up to? You gonna do anything? You giving me the side eye? You hungry? Do you want a treat? That gets your attention. Do you want a treat?
Our players know only that the final Jeopardy category is the Supreme Court in the 19th century. Let's show them the clue. Citing the language of the people, whether sellers or consumers, in 1893, the Supreme Court ruled on the botanical designation of this. 30 seconds.
So that's a wrap for today, day 4 of Vlogmas. Unfortunately, Scott could not sit down with me when Jeopardy came on. He's still tending to his on-call duties. So it was just me and Clyde. Clyde was my little Jeopardy companion. Earlier, you saw a clip of me driving. I had to race down to the high school this morning when I had my productive session. I was going through the senior players' recommendations on the upcoming team uniform, and I pretty much narrowed it down to 2. Our athletic director did approve one of them. The item is on clearance, so a lot of the tennis kits do go on sale and even clearance during the holiday season. As of today, all the sizes were in stock, and I was concerned that if I waited until next week to purchase the items, that some of the sizes might go out of stock. So the athletic director approved for me to go down to the school and pick up a school credit card so that I can make the purchase online today. With the snow forecast for tonight and tomorrow, she suggested that I come by immediately because the schools would likely be closed tomorrow, and coaches are not supposed to keep credit cards overnight or for extended periods of time. And we're headed out of town, so if I delayed it, I would have had to make other arrangements to get the credit card back into the school's hands. So that's where I was racing to this afternoon. It is a lot of effort for us high school coaches to try to keep within county budgets. The athletic budget is somewhat limited, especially as we're approaching the last sports season of the year. So I just wanted to ensure that we were able to order the team's upcoming uniforms, which was accomplished. So it was a lot of effort. I don't think players and parents realize the things that coaches have to do during the off season in preparation. Yeah, I got it accomplished. As you also saw, Scott did some winterproofing just in time for the snowfall. Covered the backyard outdoor furniture
I think he brought the snowblower out and also the power generator in preparation for when, not if, but when the power goes out. So that's nice. We have a neighbor next door when the power has gone out that we've been able to plug into him. It's really weird where when the power goes out, we are on a different grid than our next door neighbor to the left of us, and another grid for the neighbors on either side of the street. So there's actually 4 different utility grids at the corner where we're at. So we're on one grid, our next door neighbor is on another grid, the across the street corner neighbor is on a 3rd grid, and then the other corner is on a 4th grid. So it's oftentimes our grid is the power that goes out. So we have been able to plug into our neighbor directly next door on the left, which has been very nice and kind of him. So Scott decided to invest in a generator for when the power does go out. So he has that ready to go and plug in when the event happens. It usually happens when we have extreme low temperatures. Last year, the temperature fell to below 20 degrees. And I was more concerned that the pipes were going to freeze. Thankfully, they didn't, but the power did go out. We were out of power for a good few days, so that generator definitely came in handy. Also, you saw a very short clip of our son, Max, taking Declan out for a walk. Again, with Scott doing his on-call duty for work, Max will take Declan out for his daily morning walk. Declan requires a walk at least twice a day, whereas little dogs, we can just let them out in the backyard. They can run around and completely be fine. So if you've gotten this far in watching, thank you. Hopefully we're not boring you to death, or you're just curious to see what our lives look like day to day. I got the idea, if you've gotten to the end, to go ahead and comment an emoji. Today's emoji will be the snowflake. So with that, thank you, and we will catch up with you again tomorrow. Bye.